What if you could build more muscle while you're sleeping with just a few simple tricks? Imagine how much time and effort it would save you in the gym and how much easier and faster you're going to get to your dream physique. When I'm telling you this, you're probably thinking, "No! God, please, no!" This is another clickbait video. But that's why I will back up what I'm about to say with some studies. So make sure to stick until the end, because every tip is going to give you an unfair advantage over everyone else. So without further ado, let's dive right into it. When I'm saying you can build more muscle while you're sleeping, I'm actually not talking figuratively, because this video will talk about exactly just that, your sleep. But before you click away, let me try to convince you why this is actually going to have an impact on your results. Because when we talk about bodybuilding, we mainly think that food and lifting weights are the main drivers of muscle growth. While these two are equally as important, sleep is also going to have a crucial impact on your results as well. But the problem is that it's often so overlooked these days. Sleep is even so overlooked in our general society that according to the Centers of Disease Control and Prevention, 1 in 3 Americans sleep less than 7 hours per day. That's a lot, considering in most cases 7 hours of sleep isn't nearly enough. And this is especially the case when we're going to look at how sleep quality can even make those 7 hours a little bit useless. And this is very important when we're talking about muscle growth. So if you're thinking, well, I sleep more than 7 hours, you might find that other things make that sleep worth about 5 hours. Because when asking how long should I sleep, you should also be saying, how can I improve that sleep? Now, how can sleep quality and sleep impact the muscle growth that we're getting? Well, as you probably know, in the gym, our muscles are sort of destroyed, but this isn't a bad thing, because those tears will get repaired, and this is mainly done using protein and other crucial nutrients while you're sleeping. And when we're sleeping, we're mainly going through 2 cycles of sleep, NREM and REM cycles. The NREM is the most important of the two, since here the blood flow throughout our body increases substantially, allowing us to get important nutrients to different places so that they can go through that repairing process faster. But unfortunately, a lot of things are able to disturb that NREM sleep. Now, I might be over-exaggerating on how much impact this has on your results. Or am I? Some researchers found that subjects who slept 5.5 hours as opposed to 8 hours lost 60% more muscle mass in just 2 weeks' time. And if that doesn't convince you, another study found that the time to exhaustion is decreased by sleep deprivation, and this basically means that you might be able to do your first set without a problem, but by the end of your workout you're going to perform less optimal because you're too fatigued. So concluding from this, we know that better sleep will lead to better performance and better recovery, and thus to more muscle growth. Now, there are some general things that we can do to improve sleep, like not drinking caffeine 8 hours before bed and avoiding blue light 2 hours before bed. But I already explained this in another video, so make sure to check it out after this one. But in this one, I'm going to dive even deeper into it so that in the next couple of weeks, you're going to sleep like a rock. Now, these will be a lot of tricks over which I will go as fast as possible to save you some time. So buckle up, grab some low-calorie popcorn, and let's get right into it. The first thing that probably all of you could improve right away is make the room where you sleep darker. Because you see, any form of light can hinder the production of the sleep hormone melatonin to some extent. And this means that yes, even when you're going to sleep or sleeping, this melatonin can get blocked by this light. So when you're still sleeping and the sun is going up, letting some light into your room, you're going to have a disturbance in your sleep, or even when you're sleeping and there is some light shining into your room through your window. So to fix this and improve your sleep, you're going to make your room as dark as possible. You can use some dark curtains or anything else like that. This is something that will just take you a couple of hours to set up and will benefit you the rest of your life. But if you don't want to waste any time or spend any money at this, you can always use an eye mask, because scientists have also shown that this seems to be effective. And the next thing that you're going to want to use are earplugs. It's probably very intuitive that with more noise around, you're going to have a harder time sleeping. And this is something that we can also find back in, for example, this study that found that environmental noise can reduce cognitive performance, especially when this noise is nocturnal. And another study also found that using earplugs had a significant impact on your sleep quality and duration. And this is probably because it's nested deep into our survival instincts. And that's because noise around us often means that there is some type of living creature nearby, and this means that there could be danger. But in our day and age, this is not really the case anymore. So we can battle against this instinct by using these earplugs. I personally sleep way worse when I don't use my earplugs, so I definitely advise you to use them since they're not really that expensive. Now let's take a little breather and look at some cute baby pandas you get to see, since a lot of you guys smashed the like button in one of my latest videos. So smash that like button again. Also please subscribe for more fitness tips, and let's go on with the video. The following thing is something that I notice a lot of people around me are struggling with, and that is to go to sleep and wake up at consistent times. Because they did find that making this consistent can have a big impact on your overall sleep, and this is all because our body has a circadian rhythm, and this is our internal clock and allows our body to feel whether it's daytime or nighttime. But when we disturb this by sleeping at different times, our body has a harder time trying to decide, making it feel awake when in reality it's time to go to sleep. So doing something as simple as waking up and going to sleep at consistent times can do wonders, and yes, you also want to be doing this throughout the weekends. And that's because research has shown that it can take up to 4 days to recover from 1 hour of less sleep and 9 days to get fully rid of that sleep debt. This also means that you want to do all these things for at least 9 days consistently to really notice the benefits. And no, unfortunately, you can't catch it up with a daytime nap, since another article has also shown that this can negatively impact the sleep you're going to have on the same day. So it's best to try to avoid it. Another thing that is important but is a bit harder to regulate is your room temperature. One study found that increasing the room temperature from 26 degrees Celsius to 32 degrees already decreased sleep quality and duration. And this suggests that even a slight increase in temperature can mess with your sleep. And this is especially the case with heat, so you're even better off sleeping in a colder environment as opposed to a warm environment. So it's best to try to get your room temperature to the lower end. For most people, setting your room temperature around 70 degrees Fahrenheit or 20 degrees Celsius seems to be more optimal, but it can depend from person to person, so see what works for you. But generally I would advise you to start with the lower temperature, since this does seem to have a less negative impact on your sleep. The next one is going to be a bit more expensive, but I feel like you can't really put a price tag on your health. And this is going to be buying a new mattress, and I know a lot of people are sleeping on the same mattress for longer than they can even remember, and one article found that using a higher quality mattress did seem to increase sleep quality, and this is not the only one. They also found that a new mattress heavily reduced shoulder and lower back pain, so if you're suffering from this, I definitely suggest you look into this. Now you can't really buy a new mattress every year or so that's why I suggest that you renew them every 8 to 10 years. This way it won't really hurt your pockets that much, and you're going to benefit from it for a long time. And even though implementing all of these tricks will already improve your sleep substantially, I'm going to throw in a little supplement called Lavender. I've already covered my other crucial supplements, and I'm eager to add this one to the list as well, but there is one small problem with it over which I will go right away. And for the record, it's not a supplement to really eat, but it's more about inhalation. Researchers found that lavender could significantly improve sleep quality in the short term, however in the long run it did end up giving diminishing effects, so it's important that you sort of cycle it. And this is probably most optimal when you've already had a couple nights of bad sleep, but also when you know you're going to sleep a bit worse than usual because of travel or anything like that. Now you're probably noticing that most of these things are generally easy to do and don't really cost that much, and that's because it doesn't always have to be complicated. Doing all of these things will heavily impact your sleep and health, even though you might not notice it directly. So I suggested to start implementing these tricks right away after smashing that like and subscribe button. And to make it easier for you, I've made this summary to screenshot and take all these steps right away. But remember, you might not see results right away, but in the long run this is going to heavily impact your health and your gains. And that's because we know that sleep has a big impact on these too. I hope that you have an amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you guys later.